Hi, and welcome to L&A Does Audio Stuff. Hey, welcome to another all about Ableton Live video. If you want to see more of Ableton Live, I've actually done so many of these this far. So if you like this video, then check out the playlist full of similar videos about so many different devices and functions of Ableton Live. So in this video, I will tell you all the functions and functionalities of autofilter, but then in a couple weeks, I will post a video where I will show 5 creative music production tips and tricks on how you can actually apply it and how I use it in music production creatively. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to see that as well. But hey, let's get into this video now and have fun and autofilter things, and yes, you got my point. Autofilter. Okay, let's break it down. What's in autofilter and how does it work? We have the spectrum picture here in the autofilter. It doesn't show the frequencies, but there they are. It just doesn't show them. So it's basically the same thing as you could see in an EQ. Look at them jumping there. We have 100, we have 1K, we have 10K. Exactly the same as in here. Frequency spectrum. Woohoo! Pure awesomeness, basically. We have 3 sections here. We have envelope section, then we have filter section, which is the middle part here, and then we have LFO section, and all those areas affect and work together. We have filter types: low pass filter, high pass filter. We had band bass, pass. So it's just one band of a frequency that we pass. Then we have notch, and it just looks like a notch. And then we have a morph. And morph is actually one of my favorite ones. So when you watch in a couple of weeks the video where I show 5 different ways to use autofilter, oh my god, morph is just great. Each filter has also 12 or 24 notch. 24 just cuts more. So then we have analog model circuits here, and we have a full list. So clean is the basic one. It's just a clean circuit. And then we have OSR, MS2, SMP, and PRD. So they are basically modeled based on the circuits that have been found in some very famous analog synths. If you don't know what they are, very good explanation of all the different ones. If you go here to the info view and hover over it, and we can just see. So clean matches the filter found in EQ8. OCR is the state variable circuit with a hard clipping. MS2, blah, 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 and so on. So if you want to get into more detail of what each one of there is in Ableton Live manual, is a very good list of all these things that they do. And I'm putting it here. So you can stop this and read them through. So what we have here on the right is the filter options. So we have frequency and resonance. So resonance is when we are kind of highlighting a certain area of a frequency. Then we have frequency, which selects the certain frequency where we want the filter focuses on. You can also adjust the frequency of resonance by just clicking here on the screen and using your mouse to change them. Also, there is this gap here, and that is where we get different kind of options. So example, when we go to morph, we get a morph option. Change from low pass to high pass to low pass. It kind of goes, and this is really cool when you automate it, when you work with envelope shifters and so on. But this is gonna be part of what I will show you in a couple of weeks. Other filters like OCR, we also get drive option. All the other ones then clean, so we get drive. So it adds gain or distortion to the signal before it enters the filter. We get that very bass there. Just adding some drive to it. Okay, so then there's a really cool thing with the resonant. If we are on example OSR and not on the clean, we can do this really cool where it sustains the frequency even after we stop playing it. 125, and then now I play, and then I stop. It keeps on playing it. So it will ring indefinitely if you don't stop it. So that's a fun thing. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. So then we have the envelope section of the filter. So this is the envelope amount. How much is the envelope affecting or not affecting the actual filter? So then we have attack and release. And attack is how fast is this auto filter reacting into the rising frequency. And release is how fast is it affecting to the falling of the input signal, like when it returns. So I always think attack and release like this. So it's like, how fast is it going, working, make things work, and how fast is it returning things. So this is not the signal, this is the auto filter working. Like fast attack, slow release, slow attack, fast release. You can hear the filter going, that kind of sound. And that is the attack and release on its action. And now because we have a fast attack and slow release, it goes. You got me? And so on. But you will hear it even better now when we'll start working with the LFO and S and H. Firstly, LFO, what it is low frequency oscillator. It's electronic frequency below 20 hertz, so we can't really hear it, but it's there. It actually creates this rhythmic pulse and also sweeps. The first thing, we have the amount of the LFO on the top here. How much are we applying LFO into the signal? So we have the shape of the LFO. So we have sine, square, triangle. Then we have sawtooth up, sawtooth down. We have two options here. So it's in stereo. Independent random for left and independent random for right. The last one, which is mono, so it's modulated the both signals in time with the same signal. So it's also a random, very random, but in mono. The rates is the LFO speed, and we can either measure it in hertz or we can measure it that it will follow the tempo of the session. So it's a measurement, time measurement. And if I go here to the shape, you can see that the phase and offset turns off because these are not relevant for these two modes up here. But if I'm in sine wave example, I have the sine and the offset. Phase is that we have two LFOs and one on each channel. So it's the kind of the stereo movement of what's happening with these two LFOs in the two channels. So if it's in 180 example, these are perfectly out of phase. So they kind of go completely like this. Offset. So it shifts the starting point of each LFO on the channels, which means that we can get even this really cool movement on the left-right ear. So let's try this out. You can see it here now. It's quite slow. Every 3, 4, it kind of goes filters and off. That's perfectly off. Add offset. Okay. So if I then go to hertz, we have the different type of selections here. Okay, so we have spin, and then we have phase again. These are called the LFO stereo modes. So what it does is that it detunes the LFOs on the both ears relative to each other, and that's why we create this cool spinning effect. So each channel is modulated at a different frequency. With square is different. Quantize. So we have quantize settings here in the filter section. So it basically applies quantized modulation to the filter frequency. So when this is off, we're following the control source of LFO and envelope, and when this is on, it follows like a stepped changes. So let's just have a listen. Okay, but we wanted to have it stepped, so let's add the quantize with the number 2 there. Modulation time, so we have up to 16 steps. That's cool. Add some LFO to it. Bit random. We have an auto filter on a bass, and what we can actually do here is go to the auto filter sidechaining. I love the fact that there's sidechaining in almost anything in Ableton Live. So what we could do is add, example, the drums that we just had playing from the input here, drums, and yeah, post effects, gain, mix 100%. So we have, this is the gain of what's coming in. Now let's play with envelope, the filters, as well as LFO together and see what happens. I'm gonna not mute them so they are active. So not much happening yet, but let's put the envelope on. Can you hear that? That's the rhythm of the bass. Dun dun dun. It's kind of fun. That is fun. So we can also do sidechaining, which is also a very creative way of using auto filter. And that takes me back to the fact that in 2 weeks, I'm gonna have a whole video about these creative techniques that we can use auto filter to. Let's go for it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, please hit the bell icon, and also thank you for all my Patreon followers. You are lovely and I love you all, and thank you so much for being here for me. And here are the whole family. And also check out the merch. I have LNA Does Audio stuff, shirts and hoodies and tote bags and all kind of fun stuff. So that's all in a link down below. So see you next week. Because I'll be here. So I hope you will be as well. So see you next week. Bye.